Dear colleagues, I'd like to welcome you all again. I know you are all waiting for the current sessions and the lunch. Of course, we already started with the 15-minute delay, and so we will be as quick as possible because these are all boring project-related stuff. I'll give you information now about the first project result 1A, which is building an academic integrity policy corpus. Our purpose in this project result is to develop a comprehensive academic integrity policy corpus that includes policies from higher education institutions globally, but with a special focus on Europe. Our ultimate aim in this project result is to support academic integrity policy research by providing a valuable resource for policy researchers, because it's difficult to search and find policies from institutional websites. They might not be accessible. So we thought it might be good to create a corpus that policy researchers can find all policies at one place. To create this corpus, we followed the 5-phase blueprints. We started with planning and then continued with collecting, formatting, building, and disseminating. In the planning phase, we start with formulating our research questions, then we determined our target materials, and we determined our sources, and created our data collection tools. And then we collected policies in 3 ways. In the first way, we targeted partner countries, project partners. And then in the second way, we targeted ENI partner countries. And in the last way, we targeted overseas countries. And after collecting the policies, we formatted them so that we can include the policies in the same format in our corpus. And then we stored all the policies in a web repository and then created a web interface for our corpus so that the users can reach and see and download the policies. And of course, we disseminated the corpus and the research we made during the corpus building process with others. Now I will give more details about the phases. So this is our policy collection form. This was an online form. With our team using this form, we collected over 300 policy documents. I'm telling policy documents because we collected all policy-related documents, including the academic integrity policies, honor codes, directives, regulations, anything related to policies. These policies were collected from 27 countries and in 15 languages. And what you see here is our web interface. On the left panel, you see a bar. This is a filtering bar. The users can filter their search. They can customize their search. For example, they can search by just typing a keyword or writing an institution name, or there are some multiple choice options such as document type, format, country, policy type, etc. Users can customize their search and they can come up with a list of policies according to their filtering options. So this is our this is a web interface we created for our corpus. And we presented our initial findings at the last year's ENI conference. We disseminated the first version of the corpus. Now we are still developing it. We have some technical issues. We are trying to solve that technical issues. And once we are done, we will share the final version of the corpus with all policy researchers. Of course, we faced some challenges during the process. The first challenge was defining and identifying the policy documents. What is an academic integrity policy? This was the question we asked. What makes an academic integrity policy? So we decided to collect all policy-related documents and include it in our corpus. And during our search, we noticed that policies, sometimes policies are scattered all over the university website. They are not just in one place. So we collected all policy-related documents in one specific university. And there were, of course, some copyright options. In the first version of our corpus, we converted the HTML policies into PDF so that the users can download all of the policies. These are open access policies, but still we were warned that this is reproduction. We need to get the permission of the universities. But it was not possible for us to reach over 300 institutions. So we just left out the PDF versions. Now our corpus includes the links to the original pages of the universities. And so when creating our web interface, of course, we had some technical issues, but we worked with a web developer and we overcame these issues with the help of the web developer. We have some key takeaways for this project result, but I'm not going to details because we don't have much time, but we will share this slide with you all after the session. Okay, so in the PR1B, the second result of the first project result, we want to create an evidence-based guidelines that focus on detective, reactive, and deterrent aspects of academic integrity policies. To do that, we conducted a systematic literature review to identify key components of academic integrity policies. And with the data we got from the literature review, we developed an analysis tool, policy analysis tool, to evaluate the existing policies. So in the end, we want to create an evidence-based guidelines to inform institutions about the reactive, detective, and deterrent aspects of academic integrity policies. Now, I want to talk about why we call it evidence-based, because we want these guidelines to be informed by the scientific literature and the real academic integrity policies and the analysis of these policies. So the combination of these will help us to create an evidence-based guidelines. So this is the order we followed while creating the guidelines. We started with the literature review. Based on the data we gathered, we created a tool, policy analysis tool, and then we analyzed some policies. And in the end, we haven't created yet, but we will create a guideline, policy analysis guideline. So I would like to mention about the literature review process. We searched the literature to find out all the policy analysis studies. And first, we annotated each study by annotating the author's title, year, journal, purpose, methodology, and main findings. In our annotation document, we have almost 30 policy analysis studies. If you are interested in policy research, we will be happy to share our literature review annotation file with you. And then we delved into each policy to explore the reactive, detective, and deterrent components and the elements of a good policy. We use MaxQDS software for this. This is a qualitative analysis software. Here you can see our policies and you can see our codes here. We delved into each study and coded each study. And then we grouped our codes under overarching themes. And we came up with 4 themes. These are policy structure and accessibility, policy promotion, education, and integration, policy enforcement and procedures, and tools and support. These are 4 main themes that we found to be in academic integrity policies. Of course, under each team, there are sub-teams. These are our codes. And we also identified each sub-team in detail so that we can all be sure what do these sub-teams refer to. And then we translated each sub-team or code into items. And then we created a tool, policy analysis tool. This is just, you can see just the first two teams in this screenshot. And you can see the items. The items can be used to let's say, judge the policies, because we added some qualitative elements. For example, for the record keeping sub-team, we translated the item like the policy presents a detailed record keeping procedure. So we were informed from the Tracy's work, details, as Sarah mentioned in her keynote. Details is important, so we added such elements for each item. So this policy tool, we think that this policy tool can be used to evaluate the policies according to the 4 themes that emerged in our analysis. Okay, after creating the tool, we wanted to pilot the tool, test the tool to see if it works, if it really works. And we created an online version of the tool here. This is the online version. And before starting the analysis project, we wanted to be on the same page with all raters, with all evaluators. So we started a training phase. We created a portal here for all the trainers. And we wanted to familiarize all the trainers before starting the analysis project to ensure inter-rater reliability. So we prepared some training videos for them. For example, we prepared 3 videos, the development process of the tool, how we developed the tool, how the tool emerged. And we introduced the tool to them so that they can familiarize with all aspects of the tool. And we recorded a sample policy analysis tool with the tool analysis video with the tool that we developed. So after training the evaluators, we started piloting our tool, and we analyzed 161 policy documents from 19 countries and in 6 languages. So there are there's a summary about our analysis. So this tool, this policy analysis tool, is a byproduct of PR1B. And so we are still piloting the tool. This is not the latest version that can be used. We are still checking its accuracy, validity, and reliability. We haven't deeply analyzed our analysis results yet. So what we are going to do is we are going to look at the analysis results, and then we will make some corrections, arrangements before releasing the final version of the tool. Of course, the purpose of our tool is not to judge the policies according to their reactive, detective, or deterrent aspects, but we want to identify just the strong points of the policies so that we can include these strong points in our evidence-based guidelines, because we want our guidelines should include some elements from extracts from real policies. Okay, so what's next? We are going to work on creating this evidence-based guidelines, which is informed from the literature, from our policy analysis, of course, with the expert feedback. We are planning to get expert feedback, and then after getting expert feedback, we will finalize our guidelines and disseminate the guidelines with all our stakeholders. Again, these are the key takeaways of PR1B. I'm not going into details of these key takeaways. Okay, in the PR1C, in the next page, we want to make sure to disseminate our findings with a webinar series for policymakers. We are planning to deliver a webinar series. This will be like a online module that all policy researchers can watch all the process, watch the videos. So in this webinar series, we are planning to have 4 webinars or 4 videos, which are the development process of the policy analysis tool, introduction of our tool, a sample policy analysis, and introduction of our evidence-based guidelines, because we want to see all our stakeholders, all the policy researchers, to see how these guidelines emerge. We want to be as transparent as possible with this webinar series. Okay, now Kadri Hocam will present the PR1D, which is Gen AI policy analysis.
Hi everyone, I've been told that I have only 5 minutes on my part, and then I'll do my best to wrap up quickly. Okay, as Salim Hoca mentioned in the early morning, this is a new addition to the project, and for this project result, I'm going to talk about what did we do until now, what are we doing right now, and what will we do for the next 6 months. Okay, sorry. So, as Salim Hoca mentioned, the emergence of ChatGPT in 2022 actually led this project output be added to the project because there might be more possibilities to face academic misconduct, especially in higher education context. That's why it's decided to be added to the project. And then the purpose of this project result, actually, it is similar to, and I should confess that I copied this from Özgür Hoca's part. And the purpose of this project result is to develop a comprehensive generative AI policy and mostly a guideline corpus. And we do not expect to find so many policies on the use of generative AI in research, education, in higher education context. That's why we say that there might be more guidelines on the issue. And we collected some guidelines from higher education institutions globally, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute. And thanks to this, or thanks to the analysis of these documents or guidelines, we aim to support policy research or development, both, or as Sarah mentioned, at each level, at meso level, mega level, and also macro level as well. Okay, so what did we do? I'm going to talk about what we did do until now, or how did we collect the corpus. And actually, at this moment, I should like to thank 4 graduate students here, İrem, Sılay, Eray, Gökçe, and Sibel. They did the work actually. They collected the guidelines. And how did we decide on the corpus? And I should like to mention that actually. And as far as I know, Sibel offered this, and we adopted Times Higher Education rankings, and we focus on the top ranked 200 universities. There's a incorrect wording there, okay? And it's using these rankings helped us review universities very quickly and systematically. But as they informed me, there's a tendency of using these rankings. Okay, there's a risk because if they observe that there's a tendency to promote universities in English-speaking countries in the global north. Okay, and in the time, maybe in the future, there might be some additions to the number of universities, and there might be some eliminations as well. And then after deciding on the corpus, the websites of each university were visited manually by those people, and they used some keywords, and those keywords were adopted from a previous research. And those keywords such as AI policy, generative AI policy kind of thing. And in addition to this search, they also used Google to find whether each university, each institution has a guideline on the use of generative AI ethically, let's say, or in their educational purposes. Here you'll see that our Drive folder, and here you'll see there are many documents, and it is actually difficult. The most difficult part is analyzing the corpus that we have collected. And as a preliminary analysis, I was curious whether each institution ranks top 200 universities, whether they have a guideline on the use of generative AI. So I carried out a very simple descriptive analysis or frequency analysis, and I saw that, and here on the slide you'll see that 77% of these institutions have a guideline on the use of generative AI, but unfortunately 23% lacks any guideline or any policy on the use of generative AI. And later I looked at which country or from which part or from which countries do these institutions, do these higher education institutions or universities come from. Here on the slide, you'll see the number of countries. And then through using a cross-tabulation table, I looked at whether each institution from each country has a policy or has a guideline about or on the use of generative AI. On the right side, you'll see the results again. Okay, so as I told you, those are some preliminary findings of this related to this project results. Okay, so what will be the next step? What will we do in the next 6 months actually? So we will further analyze the or those guidelines. And while we were talking with Salim Hoca, he suggested that we can have a look at Serra's foreign framework, and I think it will be nice to include Serra's framework. Then we can decide on whether those guidelines, for example, exist in the meso level, macro level, mega level, and also micro level as well. And as far as I see, most of them are situated in the macro level, but some of them has a tendency to be situated in the meso level. Okay, we will include, I think, into our analysis. And then, of course, we need to do a content analysis. As I told you, this is what we are going to do in the coming months. In the coming months, let's say that. I'm thinking of creating or developing a framework for the content analysis, but I haven't decided yet, to be honest, whether we should carry out a top-down process or whether we should carry out a bottom-up process. Because this is new to the literature. And then I've seen a framework created by those researchers in 2023. Maybe we can adopt their framework, and then we can make some new additions. And after listening to Serra's keynote, actually, then we can maybe integrate or adopt her circle, donut circle, that colorful thing, and then maybe we can analyze those documents according to that donut circle as well. And we need to make some, or we need to look at some convergences and divergences between academic integrity policies and also generative AI policies or guidelines as well. Okay, so as a contribution, what we are aiming actually, as Salim Hoca mentioned, there are 2 recent documents published by different governmental organizations in our context, in our country. Higher Education Council published on the ethical use of generative AI in research, but unfortunately this is published in Turkish. And then we have also another document published by the Presidency of the Republic of Turkey, and one of the documents can be or is published in both in English and Turkish, and the other one unfortunately is in Turkish only. Okay, so by carrying out by analyzing or by carrying out this project result, we aim to contribute to the mega level policy development of our country as well. And then or maybe for the next level, we can contribute to the literature globally as well. Thank you. I'm giving the floor back to Professor Ece Topkaya. Thank you.
All right, as we are approaching towards the finale of our project, we reflect on our journey as the Project Result One team. And we found that we have some achievements, a lot of achievements and some challenges. Indeed, my colleagues have already summarized the challenges we face. So we have in the next 6 months, we have certain steps to take. For example, the policy corpus should be functional so that all academic integrity research community can use it effectively. And we're going to finalize and solidify the evidence-based guidelines so that we can start disseminating it by hosting a webinar for policymakers in higher education institutions. So these are our, right now, these are the challenges we face, but of course, we're going to overcome these and we're going to finalize all the deliverables. So far, CHOMI team has worked on the, has worked a lot, and together with the collaboration of the consortium partners from different universities and countries. So with the, while finalizing our project result, now we would like to shift our focus to disseminating the findings of our project result and contributing to the wider academic community regarding academic integrity. So we hope that we're going to be able to widely disseminate the results in the following months and after we finalize the project as well. So thank you, and we have finished it.
Thank you very much.